Hey folks, Jonathan here. Monday, and we finally got our heads and our gaskets and our radiator, and we got thermostat on the way. So we're going to start changing injectors out. I'm not going to replace them. It was running too good. So we're going to go ahead and get at it, and I'll show you as we go. Alright folks, Tuesday, engine's back together. Trying to get everything hooked up. I've been real busy towing. It seems like every time I get started on it, I've got to leave. Noah's been working on it, and we're slowly moving along. We're going to have it here probably tomorrow. We don't have a lot left to do. There's our old radiator. There's our new one. Full aluminum. We'll see how it does. Never running in aluminum in a big truck, but they dissipate heat good. We'll just see how it does. So new heads, thermostat, new radiator, got everything together. I think we'll be okay on it. But that's not what I wanted to talk to everybody about. All right. Okay. About this. Still sitting here looking about like I figured it would look. It's not rusting out or anything. There's a few places you can see where I'd gotten the paint on it a little thin. We was actually going to do another coat and didn't do it. But here's the deal with this. Trying to debate on what to do. I would like to try to do maybe another quick build. Not necessarily with so much of a deadline as that one, but as the last one we done. But I think we can use this frame. I'll have to find a set of springs. I do have a 54 Ford front end and rear end we can use. Actually, I'm going to show you before I'm done here. We pulled out a rear end out of a V8 Lexus car that's independent rear, but I really don't want to use it in this. And but I've been saving that front and rear. I was going to put it in the 28 Dodge, but when I sold it, I kept it, and then I was going to use that Y block in the 28. But I think, like I said, I'm going to use it in the 31 Model A. But I want to go ahead and probably do something with this here pretty soon. This is going to be not a terrible job, not as bad as the A. It's actually more solid than it, and it won't be hard to get that, get it back straight. We're not real worried about it as in, being perfect or anything like that. We're not going back with a restoration, but it would be nice to be a full fendered car. What we'll probably do is pull the fenders off and do a little more sandblasting on the inside of them and stuff, get them coated good, and same way probably doors, front fenders, strip it down and put it back together sort of the same way. Your main thing is you want to get everything good and straight and solid and where it needs to be. Now we're bowed in the center on this, but it's not that big of a deal to get it back where it needs to be. Get some steel welded in where the wood was, and try to get something figured out on this roof. This is actually the worst part where it's warped. I thought I can do something with it. I mean, worst comes to worst, even if I had to slice it and bring it up, sort of pie cut it, whatever I've got to do to get it up and get it back where it needs to be, and then get a maybe a van roof or a station wagon roof or something like that welded in it to strengthen it up. We're not going back with the wood and the stuff. This is, I'm not looking to make a rat rod or nothing. But I don't think the car don't have enough original parts or anything like that to be able to go back and original with it. So anyway, I do have the Pontiac engine, and let me see. I do have a 374 Packard engine coming too, which will be later. And then I've got LS engines, stuff like that. I've got a 6-liter in that van, but I'm not feeling that stuff. I sort of want to stay old school with this, with all of this, and maybe just put that 54 front and rear under it. Like I said, main thing is locate some springs, but we'll need to get the body off. But But like I said, one of the reasons I want to show this, I wanted to get some opinions on it. What y'all think I should do? You know, maybe give me some ideas. And you know, I don't think it's going to be that bad. And I believe it'll hold paint fine. I don't think it's going to be peeling paint, you know, like I think a lot of people think. And let me see, I want to show you this rear end I've got. Okay, here's a rear end, like I said, out of a, it's a pretty big car. It was made by Toyota, but it's a Lexus. It was a V8 car with an automatic. Basically, this is the entire suspension setup. The only thing it don't have is where the strut's mounted in right here and came up to the strut towers. Now you could go with a coilover, go with a airbag. There's a lot of ways that a person could do it, and then actually make it even drop down. And as you can see, it's really low. It's about sitting on the ground. But this would be a good for a a street rod or something like that. I don't know that I want to put it in that car. If I had a Pacer front end, if I still had the Pacer front end, I would probably put this in the car because we matched the lug pattern, and it was a power steering rack and rack and pinion steering. So maybe I'll run along another one of them. But this is a regular 5-lug Toyota, which is the same as a 4-door Dodge. Not much with the foreign stuff, but this is a pretty neat setup. I think it would make a good setup if you wanted something that you could adjust the ride height on, lower it, raise it up. So we saved it either way. And there's the drive shaft. It had a universal joint in the center and none on the front and the back. There's another drive shaft I've got. The center support bearing was gone in it, but well, not gone, but shot. So, but this wouldn't be a hard one to work with. Another idea anyway. And here's even another idea. I've sold a few parts off of this Land Rover. This had a good aluminum block V8 in it, but the problem that you'd run into with this, I thought about actually popping this body off. This has got a good full frame and actually sitting that down on it. Of course, it's not long enough, which that wouldn't be a big issue. But the problem is the engine sits so far forward, and the way them cars are set up, the axle's way forward, the engine's way back. So a lot of that would have to be changed out. But I even thought about making it into just a not a real high setting, but a lower setting, four-wheel drive, and just to do something with it, because this is it's a pretty good setup here. All right, so throw me your ideas on this. And this is not anything that I'm going to do. I'm not starting tomorrow. It's going to be a while before I ever start on it. I want to go ahead and we're going to get back on the drag car as soon as we get this truck finished up here, and it shouldn't take too much longer on it. And I was hoping to already have it done. It's just getting pulled away. And I picked up a car a guy wrecked. Let me see, 6 o'clock this evening. He blew a .24 and couldn't even stand up. 6 o'clock in the afternoon, rush hour traffic on a highway that's known for wrecks and head-ons and everything else. And luckily he ran off the road and just crashed himself and didn't get anybody else involved. So definitely don't want to be texting and not paying attention, because somebody else will run you over. So anyway, give me your thoughts on this. I've got other stuff too, other cars, frames, fronts and rears and engines and stuff. So I know some people like to keep stuff all Chrysler, or all Ford or whatever, and we're not worried about that either, because accessibility to parts is what we're going for. And like I said, I do have, and it's right here, it's a 54 Ford front straight axle. It could be modified to put in there. The only bad thing, like I said, is the springs are bad on the car, and that's a 54 rear end. The good thing about these, hydraulic brakes, and it's easy to get the parts for them, the brake parts and everything for both of these, especially since I know what they are. And that wouldn't be a bad combination. And anyway, but all right, I will update everybody tomorrow on the truck if we get it finished up there, and we're gonna jump in there on the drag car and see if we can go ahead and get them upper A-frames done, and because we're definitely ready to get back on something fun like that instead of the same old on these trucks. You know, it kind of gets old after a while. But okay, folks, I really didn't do any filming at all on this thing, but we're done. Radiator's in. I actually finished it up yesterday. This is Thursday. We finished it up and actually took it on 2 toes as soon as I got it done. So everything's good to go. No problems, no issues. I think we're going to go ahead and get the stuff cleaned off the drag car and get back started on it. We got a bunch of stuff stacked on it. We've also got, like I said, the interior on the Studebaker. We're going to work on it also. The 56. I think here pretty soon I may do some body work on the 51 Studebaker. We're probably going to put some paint on it. But for now, give me some opinions on what you think on the 4-door Chrysler there. And I got to, you know, figure out what we're going to do on it. We may, never know, set up another deadline time deal and sort of force ourselves to get it done. This truck here took quite a bit because I was doing so much towing, and you know, you can't if you can't be here to work on it, you know, it's just, it don't get done. So, but anyway, I don't think we'll have any more issues out of this for a while. I hope not anyway. Okay, I want to show you the carpet I bought and put in the Studebaker here. Totally unimpressed with this. I bought this and paid more money than I wanted to pay for it, and it was supposed to be molded carpet, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's sewn everywhere. I haven't even tried to, I just threw it in here and laid it out so maybe it would straighten out some. Not happy at all with it, but we'll have to live with it. But I've got to try to get it all flattened out and in place, and then start getting the seats and stuff back in this thing. And you know, the door panels, of course, have got to be done, and I got to figure out what to do on the dash pad. It needs to be covered, and I'm not sure how to go about it, but we'll figure it out as we go. And headliners in these cars were separate pieces of like a perforated cardboard. They make a kit that you can buy for this to put a regular headliner in it, and we may come up with something ourselves for that. If we can come up with some bows to put in it, I can probably sew one up and make it. It's not a big roof in here, so I don't think it would be too hard. But I don't know that I'm going to go, you know, I'm probably not going to go back with what they've got, but I think we can figure something out on it. Of course, redo the visors, that's not an issue. And I think it'll turn out alright, but you know, like I said, I'm just not happy with this carpet. It's definitely not molded carpet like it was supposed to be. I don't like the fit of it. It just don't, I don't know, it just don't seem like it's gonna fit like I really want it to fit. But it's like they just hacked it all together. But we'll keep working with it and see if we can get it laid out good. Alright,